Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Really. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to what? Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely.
Running a business, if it doesn't do anything else for anybody, it should make you feel more accountable for your life. The decisions that you make, the time that you spend, how you feel mentally happy in the moment, and then when you don't feel happy. As a business owner, you're supposed to be able to analyze everything about business. Your business is your child. You're supposed to be so honed in with that shit that when something go wrong, you know what it is that went wrong, and you can fix it right away. Well, I remember hearing on this one podcast, the Zoe Williams. Everybody typically tends to say that like he's like, sexist against women or whatever, but it's more so like he's with women. But the fact of the matter is that like most people don't bother to talk about how men are how black men, no, let's put it like this. Black women and children, they have far surpassed the slave era, in my opinion. Far surpassed it. Because now the government and everybody else looks out for women and children, especially black ones. But when it comes to a man, everybody in Cleveland, every man that's on child support. What do you honestly think will really happen to the county's economy because a black man is not working for them, nor is he working for a household he lives in? The black man will never. The black man, Ace had this one song called I'm gonna think of it, but pretty much he just said like no matter how much money or how much work he puts in, I will forever be a field nigga. My painting business has made, I'm 50 grand short of 400,000, and that's in 3.5 years. No, I'm not looking for accolades and praises. Let's suck this nigga dick every time we see him. I'm not asking for that. I don't think any black man is asking for that. I think what the black man is asking for is to be heard the same way how a child wants to be heard, and the same way how a woman wants to be heard. Black men are not heard. It don't matter. We can fucking commit infidelity. It can just be like, well, you cheated 2 years ago, but then you don't cook no more. Woo woo. At the end of the day, you fucked up. The world has made it so nobody else takes accountability for themselves but a man. And but a black man. Forever a field nigga. And I realized that yesterday. The nigga, black man, we only matter to ourselves. And that's at the end of the day, that's all who we can really just matter to, is just to ourselves. Nobody else is gonna take us seriously besides ourselves as black men. Nobody's gonna sit here and put that stock into us. That's the whole entire reason why Drake's album For the Dogs, I praise that shit. I praise it. You know why? You got artists like Six Black, you got artists like Brent Faiyaz that are actually really bold with how men feel. Drake's album was just like, regardless not of how you bitches feel, I don't care. I'm gonna tell you how a dog feels.
I just got hip to that, like just listening, because I'm an album listener to her. So getting a chance to hear that album and just kind of hear, like you said, man, a man being vulnerable. A man, that's one of the lines that I think that Drake did say, and I'm a fan of Drake too. Man, you don't make records for people who don't get pussy. You know what I'm saying? So if you getting you with some ass here and there, come with some feeling, come with some emotion. As much as us as men try to sometimes put into a perspective that, hey, yeah, we can just fucking be gone. In majority cases, we can. Okay. However, sometimes that your feelings can get involved, especially when you become romantic, and your feelings can get hurt. You can be on the sucker end of the deal. You know what I'm saying? You could be on the you not capitalizing and not even really knowing. Being able to talk to people, communicate with people, being able to do this, man, being able to kind of speak about the real, like one of the things that we talk about is like the real men emotions, a real men segment, how we feel, what our thoughts are in complete form of like, this is how I feel about my woman and what we doing and what we trying to do. This is how I feel about my children, my kids. I'm trying to make sure I'm giving them a good something to see, a good example. I'm trying to figure certain things out. I'm new to this. It's my first time, so looking for some grace, giving some grace, looking for some praise in there, looking for even some suggestions. I'm open to it. The last thing I think most men most definitely don't want is a level of criticism, especially when you trying. You sitting here, you're trying to put in some work, you're trying to figure it out, man. Sometimes not having a good teacher or that kind of male role model that's around, or somebody that's probably been through what you're going through, that you can pull that information from. So it is crucial that we communicate heavy, and it's crucial that we talk to each other and we speak freely. Most definitely here at Permission to Speak Freely podcast, this is the platform where most definitely for men, be able to get that out, speak about that, be able to detox, vent. Is healthy, bro. It's necessary, man. And in all, it's still inspiring. It's still a level of, hey, man, look where I was here and I'm here now. I can measure my growth. I was able to speak to a homie about X, Y, and Z. It helped him. It helped me. We both got to laugh about it. We linked back up to kind of check status. Like, bros need that. Men need that. We need that checking in with each other, that accountability type of thing, that even that level of like hierarchy of like, man, I look up to you, you look up to me, we work together, we work as a team type of thing. Very, very difficult to loan with it, man.
That's why I was hitting you up so heavy. Like I was like, I know you busy. And it's like that, I know you busy. Like, just understand that I know, like, if you say you got rescheduled, understand that I understand. And I ain't salty about it. But I'm like, I get it. But I'm at the same time, I was just like, yeah, like, you need that. And the word, I mean, like, the word that you said was grace. And I think that's something that men need to closely associate the word grace along with strength, along with pride. Because, like, strength is cool. Pride is okay in some situations. But you have to understand, like, one thing I kind of understand as far as being a man and growing up, and even still now, is that you have to be able to show grace. A lot of men, they hope that they take on stuff that happened to them back when they were a child. Some things aren't right, and I'm not justifying anything. But some things that do happen or have happened, you can If you want clear understanding, you just ask. You ask what happened. You ask what's going on. That right there, you're giving somebody a chance, whether it's as a man, whether it's a mother, a father, or baby mama, or wife, child. It all goes all through and through. You have to be able to show grace. You have to be able to show grace is a level of growth. Grace is understanding that it's not just about me. Let me hear what this other person has to say about this situation. If they want to talk, cool. We talk. If I don't like what they have to hear, at least I get an opportunity to speak. And I had the choice to accept it or not accept it. But when you don't give grace, all you do is pretty much you harbor so much resentment and anger all throughout your whole entire life, especially as a man, that to the point where it keeps you from reaching like that king status. That king status. If you watch them kings on Game of Thrones, they being hit with more shit than me and you being hit with. It's a famine over in the field somewhere. The leather isn't coming out correctly. It's all types of shit. But he sits there on his throne. He just like, okay, we'll handle this. We'll deal with it. The king can compartmentalize each and every single situation, because each and every single situation deserves a different reaction, a different type of feeling.
Hey, I think you should repeat that.
Each and every single situation requires a different type of action and a different type of feeling. When you as a man give 100% of what you don't need to be getting to a situation, who are they gonna blame? Not the Ghostbusters. They're gonna blame you, the black man.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here at Therapeutic Relations Healthcare Services, we provide essential services to essential people. We offer 24-hour residential care, transportation, adult day, and vocational training. We provide a safe and healthy environment that teaches daily living skills while offering activities that stimulate. Our passion goes far beyond the care of our clients. Our staff are highly trained professionals equipped to handle what comes their way. We like to think of ourselves as people-first employers. Accept the challenge and join our team now at Therapeutic Weekend.
Blame the black man.
Yeah, so I'll say this, man. I really like that quote that you just used, and that kind of plays towards the role of the man or the person who provides, who kind of put things in play, that you're going to be the one viewed and looked at as the issue when things don't kind of go that way. And say for myself recently, man, I've caught me in a place where I've been given, and that's kind of like the human in me. That's the human in me of me just kind of constantly giving, helping out, being there to assist, man. It's twigs to a titan. I have it to be able to do and to assist. And there's another thing that you had said, man, that I actually like to adopt. It was like, I take care of everybody because I can. Even though I have to learn, and I'm learning to compartmentalize just the person. So I give you an example with some of my family and friends, man, recently borrowed money, and I'm the person that they normally come and borrow money from. I'm Kennington Bank. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't mind loaning and lending out, especially if we got that relationship of like, hey, this is we trading services or goods or materials or whatever it is. So I'm cool with it. But when we have a relationship with each other and say you borrow something and you don't pay it back, I look at that as a trust exercise of like, hey man, we had an exercise on trusting each other on a give and take bartering system right here, and it didn't work out. So it puts me in a position not to trust you any further, but on this, not just discard the entire person, but just compartmentalize of like, hey, I don't trust giving this person money. I don't trust my kids with this person, or I don't trust, X, Y, and Z. Not that I'm just going, hey, this person is just throw the whole person in the trash. It's like, no, hey, we about to get ready to fight, and one of our guys isn't a fighter. I'm not mad at him that he's not a fighter, but don't lie saying you're going to fight if you're not. You can still be very useful. You can pop the trunk. You can call the police. You can get the guy to get away. You could do whatever, but, you can still be useful. You're not entirely useless, you know what I'm saying? But gotta kind of know where you sit and, the strong suits of that. So being able to compartmentalize certain things is very healthy, man, as problem solving, especially as being the man, the provider, the head, why didn't you, being questioned on your decisions sometimes? Why didn't you do this or do that? If, hey, this person made a mistake, they're not an enemy.
Or real quick, or even if you take a certain step that you think might be good for your family, you still gotta deal with the ridicule sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be, oh, well, hey, Ken or Marcellus, this guy looking at me. Oh yeah. Hey, you motherfuckers, nah. Well, but then you go back up to the table. Why'd you do all that? I'm like, well, why'd you? I was trying to say that. Nah, I'm not.
Like, it wasn't even that serious.
Right, but you making it seem like it kind of was.
So you making it seem like it was more than what it is, and it really wasn't. So let me ask you this, man. How is your mental health now?
I'm saying my mental health is getting better and better by the day. Only because of the fact that I look at what it is that I'm going through. Like, cause real quick, I text my mom when all this stuff was going on with my kid. I asked my mom, I'm like, is this retribution or judgment for me? Is this me actually having to re-look in the mirror at myself? I actually questioned myself for a hot minute, and I'm like, no. I said, because the track history and track record are shown. I've done all that I can. What did Drake say on Virginia Beach? Could I have done it any better? Not at all. Not at all. So with that mentality of knowing that if I could do better, okay, I'll do better. But if I can't do any better, I've done all I can. What more is there for me to do? So as a black man, how am I dealing with my mental health every single day? I make sure that shit gets better. I make sure that shit gets better and better every day. Because at the end of the day, like you said, we take care of a lot of stuff this and third as black men. We do a lot of shit. So it's easy for us to get mixed up in our emotions, mixed up in how we feel mentally, and think that we're not doing enough because people are coming down on us. We're not doing enough. But then when you sit back and you realize, did I talk? Did I work? Did I pay all the bills I could? Did I try to be there the best way I could? If you can check off yes to all those as a black man, like everyone else does, then why can't you feel okay at the end of the day? Why are you not allowed to feel okay at the end of the day? It's not a question I ask myself no more. I'm allowed to feel okay at the end of the day. I'm allowed to.
And at the beginning, at Freedom Speakers, for anybody that's out there that deals with any form of mental health, we want to let you know that it's okay not to be okay, and to be able to seek assistance and help wherever that you find comfortable. If that's venting to a friend, family member, a coworker, potentially HR at your job, different types of programs that may be in your city, or if you're a creative being such as ourselves, you can reach out to us here at Permission to Speak Freely Podcast. You can DM me on IG, and we can be able to have face-to-face conversations via the internet to be able to help you walk through and unpack just emotional and mental things that you're going through. You are not alone, people. You are not alone. So thank you for listening to everybody that's tuning in to everything that we do. We have Marcellus Clay, owner of Full Service Painting Company, in the studio with us today, being able to just talk that real about what it is to be a man, to feel, to have emotions, to be the head of everything and still be looked down on.
You missed one thing too. I'll say you missed one thing. And the one other thing that you miss is that if your circle, and that's the thing, like me, like I know a lot, same thing like you know a lot of people but that circle is so small only because of the level of respect that you have for your efforts, what you're trying to do with your life. And it's not a knock against people, but you got to understand, if the people who are in your corner are encouraging you, they're not like saying like, "Hey, you could do it," whatever, then you need to read. You need to check. If as a black man, if each and every single time you go to get fucking advice, and it just seems more of like, instead of like encouragement, and it seems more like a beatdown, you really need to check who is in your circle. You have to check who's in your circle. We all know a lot of people, but I know for myself right now, period. Yeah, I got about maybe like 4-5 people, men that I talk like friends, like male friends, including my brother, that I talk to. And it's only because of the fact that, it's not because of the fact that, you know, we're all business owners, but it's because of the fact that the level of mentality that I need in this moment, you know what I'm saying? It's the level of mentality that you need for the moment. So as black men, if you are listening to this and you do have like somebody that's a bit more experienced and knows a bit more about life, and you trust them, those are the people who you need to be running to. You need to be going to them.
For sure. It's always promoted heavily for men to have mentors or OGs that they're able to pull information from, that can guide them and teach them. And I'm a big believer in that, man. I'm a big homie to a lot of people myself. I'm a teacher, a sensei, a person that's looked to for guidance. So I believe in that being something serious for men to have. But I also believe that is very serious for women to have as well. That women can benefit from having a healthy women's group that can be able to speak to women who, say, for example, they have husbands or men who are in powerful positions. They're councilmen, they're businessmen, they're principals, teachers, they're chairmen. They have a position where they're in charge most of the time. It is stressful. They have a certain expectation placed upon them. They have a certain view placed upon them. Hey, being the wife of this husband of this type of man of this caliber, how do you do it? How do you tend to this man who is so demanding, because the position he holds is demanding of him? You know, how is he taken care of? How can you reciprocate this energy? How do you ease his mind, mental? How do you make his day better for him? You kind of get to see when he's going out here fighting the world, what he's up against. Can you make the last place he has to fight at home? Can you make that happen for him?
And to be told, in my opinion, it doesn't make a woman, opportunist. It doesn't make a woman an opportunist to see that she has a man, or she's with somebody who is striving for something. And then on top of that, if she feels that same thing that man feels inside, there's something in her. It's taking over. She gotta break it down, bust it open. You know, she gotta let people know. Understand that backing that I just said right there, as far as like for a man goes, because he's pretty much letting you know, if I can do it, you can do it. And with the more knowledge that I'm absorbing and I'm learning, I can help you. I could put you in a position where it's not even put in positions like do anything like nothing. Well, it could be like major in your business, but it could also be something for themselves. Like you said, if you got enough experience in life that you know some things and this, that, and third, how can you pass that knowledge on to others?
Yeah. So freedom speakers, one of the things I'd like for y'all to do this week, if you can, is look out and reach out and find you a mentor if you do not have one, or become a big homie or a mentor or a teacher to somebody. And if you already that, man, expand your teaching, expand your reach and your message to more and more people out there. You can find me at permission2_ speak freely podcast on IG. So, man, I got another question for you. When it comes to business, do you ever find yourself in a place of procrastination?
Yeah. I over like the last like week with things going on, I found myself doing a bit more drinking and just trying to just figure things out versus just let me not drink for the day and let me actually just process and figure some shit out and just stay busy with what I need to do. Like, procrastination is one of my biggest things. You mentioned like on the last episode that when I was here last time, you was like, your wife said that you're the type of person that the only time you perform really well is when you back into a corner. And it's only because you have no choice. And I'm the same way. Like legit, like I'm the same way.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Please tap into me on IG. That's the primary platform. Permission2_ speak freely podcast. That's permission2_ speak freely podcast.
Absolutely, straight up. And you can follow me as well, Laylo the Most at LAYLOE.THAMOS. And definitely follow us, man. Engage with us, ask us questions. Get engaged, man. Freedom speakers. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we protect y'all as well. Permission to speak.
Procrastination can be powerful if used correctly. Yeah.
So pretty much like to like sum it up, like what we just said about being procrastinators and like business owners. You're in like your first couple of years of business, okay, like you still finding your groove, getting your groove for things. But once you actually come to the understand, and that's the thing, like I remember like growing up as a kid with the Bible studies and stuff like that. When you come to a level of understanding, that's what makes you accountable. At that point, you can acknowledge it in your brain or you can acknowledge it in words out loud. It makes you accountable. So as a business owner, to be a procrastinator, to like literally like try to run your business procrastinating, what I have found is the fact that because I have been running my business for like going on like, this year right here be going like this be like my fourth full year running my business. What I found out is that when you actually stay 10 toes down to your business and stay dedicated to your business, after a certain amount of time goes by, business starts to become kind of regular.
Yeah. Some stuff hit automatic now.
Some stuff starts to roll around automatically. If you have not learned to compartmentalize and to deal with situations, eventually the goals that you want to reach as far as being a business owner will be for nothing. Why? Because you have not yet learned or told yourself that I can't procrastinate no more. The sense of urgency isn't there anymore. Though you might hit your goals last year, and guess what? Because you hit your goals last year, you're automatically 9 times out of 10, as long as you stay consistent and don't procrastinate anymore, you're gonna hit your goals again. But the more and more you do, but the thing is, I'm finding out as well, the longer you're running your business, then you're trying to find more ways to expand. So then when you're trying to expand, if you having a hard time procrastinating, if you procrastinate about the one business that you're running, how you adding 2, 3, 4 more to your business?
Yeah, trying to add multiple services. Yeah, you're right. So let me read you something real quick. I had came up with a quote, and I'm pretty good at quotes. Be on the lookout, people, for my motivational calendar and for my 365 motivational, inspirational quotes coming soon on an ebook. So one of...
Hold on, wait, real quick. I gotta clap. No, for like, I gotta clap to that because that's dope.
Oh man, my wife, bro, she's helping me take what I already have and putting it in other avenues of places that I didn't even know existed or that could be like can make
it matter.
Like, yeah, it matters. So Freedom Speakers, if anyone follows me on IG or on Facebook, primarily Facebook, I put a lot of motivational, inspirational quotes up there and a lot of employer tips as well. So my wife had seen me put up employer tips, and she has seen me put up motivational things, and just our hashtag Chief Ali, Chief Ali, my hashtag. So one of the things that I put up the other day was, one day in business is a long time. Procrastinate one day, you're a week behind. Procrastinate a week, you're a month behind. Procrastinate a month, you get the picture. It's like the last thing you want to do is possibly the first thing your ass should be doing. Get to work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, with one of those, man, just, I understand. Say for the year 2023, man, I procrastinated a lot trying to find a level of normalcy. We were able to do well, but not as well as we could have if we weren't dragging our feet with a lot of tedious things. A lot of new came into play. Still, we did grow, but we did take some L's. So we didn't grow or maximize as much as we could. We just kind of got a little ahead on just a smidget percentage. But me getting a chance to kind of see myself of what this new vision is that I have, and this new place that I want to take us, and gaining a lot of notoriety within the city of Cleveland, Ohio, man, 216, wanting to show the city a different level of beauty that comes from people such as myself, a thinker, intellectual, a person that takes a non-traditional route, but looks like I know which way is up. So I want to be able to connect with other people with that and give this information to like-minded individuals such as you, is how we partnered up and how we work together. And we have this relationship where we guide each other as family men, businessmen, entrepreneurs, and build a core. As another quote of mine that I have is, man, they call me the weirdo or the Urkel. And I'm like, that's cool, man. I'm the square that takes care of my circle.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Right.
I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being the square that takes care of my circle. That's how it's supposed to be. These people are, I won't even say that's how it's supposed to be. That kind of takes away a choice, I'll say. What I like to say is, this is what I've been practicing. Let me show you or explain to you how it's been going for me. This is how it's been working out for me. More than, you should do it like this. It's like, no, this is how it's been working for me. It might not work the same for you. Might not have the same handle, but that being said, I want to be able to show Cleveland, Ohio 216, where I was born and raised, that, hey, man, beautiful individuals such as myself with a mindset that I know that they kill people sometime about, is in the city, a revolutionary type of person that can show you business and entrepreneurship, can motivate you, inspire you, teach you economic inclusion, but at the same time, be a human being and be able to show you a level of empathy and sympathy and understanding, which is what we need sometimes. But at the same time, I'll bust your ass and I'll let you sit in your shit just to learn. But it's a lesson in there. It's not to be malicious, but it's, hey, you got to figure this one out on your own.
Literally, no, real talk. And the one thing that Ken Wine did not say was the fact that this is actually, like, right now what's going on, this is actually a mentor. This is my sensei. This is like everything that you hear right now is going on these experiences, like what he's saying. You gotta understand, this is actually going on in real time right now. I blew this man phone up for a minute. Blew him up for a minute. But also at the same time, like, still understanding that the shit that I'm blowing him up about, I'm still in control of it. At the end of the day, it's still in my control. I can come running to him anytime, all the times that I want, but eventually it's gonna be like, come on, nigga, I'm not. The fuck you about to do? Seriously. So, take advantage of these type of relationships, because you honestly don't, like, in the moment, no, you don't know when it's going to be needed or when it's going to happen or when it's gonna. But if you keep these people close, and if you understand like the level of their importance, if you understand like how important they are, not just to the community, but to the simple fact of like your livelihood. One question I wanted to ask you is, you may have, for your listeners right now, a lot of them may have been in business, same amount of time as you have, maybe a little longer. Same thing with a booming business. What does a sense of normalcy look like for you?
So what does a sense of normalcy looks like for me? That's a pretty good question, man. Thank you for that. Well, a sense of normalcy to me is a premeditated routine sought out. Like I can see it, I see it through. From my children back in routine with school, which is really kind of sets the tone of the day. Getting them off and out the door. Checking my corners with my team, my leaders within business, helping them put out any fires if there are any, playing from a level of preventative. We're being more proactive than reactive. Having my meditation time in the morning to myself, and then at night, finding like these slithers of sanctuary, like this little slither of a sanctuary for me. Okay, I just pray real quick, be like thankful real quick, just keep telling myself like get out my own way, keep moving. But that's a level of normalcy. Even the same routines of, this time of year, this is what the workforce is going to be like. This is what finances are going to kind of be like. Bouncing back from being hit with COVID, as most entrepreneurs, most businesses, like we all had to shift in some kind of way, shape, or form. So finding new rules in that, especially being in healthcare, it's all kind of new policies for it and things of that nature. Trying to get that in place, implement it, train the people on it, find some normalcy with like, this is the new norm. It's blended all, together. A lot of people, so I say this as well, a lot of people don't know, my wife and I, we live together because that's my wife, that's how that works. But we work together as well. And we own the business together. We have children together. Those are a lot of layers to a relationship for us to be able to balance with one another. And a lot of times it hasn't always been an easy path. I know for social media, it looks really good to be like, oh yeah, the spouse and y'all work together, more money in the house, woo, woo, woo. And it is, that's the upside of it. But when it's one of those like, hey, this your boss talking to you, this ain't your husband, hey, you gonna get your ass fired. Hey, this is what you need to do, this ain't negotiable. It's one, and then you get to take it out at home. It was like, that was the boss, babe, that was Mr. Johnson. That wasn't me. Why you mad? Now why your ass mad? You know you're supposed to do that shit anyway. But it's, how do you balance that? How do you have that, and it's heavy compartmentalized. You have to. Like, I'm not upset at her about work things and it transfers home, or things of that nature, or vice versa. But one thing that I do like that transfers over is, say, like the decision making, the problem solving, the teamwork, the collective ideas, the shared responsibility, that it isn't just one person's fault. It happened to us all, so those are some things that I do learn and take from, working together in a relationship of, we don't own problem solving. Everybody can use that, you know what I'm saying? But this is how we demonstrate us problem solving together. And it's difficult, but when it's work, it's beautiful as fuck though. It's beautiful. It's a I don't know who in charge right now. It's like, it's still me. It don't matter
if it's Kenwan, Mr. Johnson, Chief Ali, KY, whatever, is him. He him in all forms. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to learn that and exercise that and a certain level of dominance and confidence that comes with, okay, I have this person's ear. I have their ear. What do I say to them? If they're willing to listen to me, do I play it selfish for my own benefit and they just kind of become almost like a slave to me? Or do I play the situation fair where we both give and we both take, but it's a reciprocal so that it's one of us is always in a position to be able to assist one another. We're not breaking each other, you know? Real relationship exercise and the things that are transferable of all relationships, not just business, but even with my children. So I give you an example with KJ, man. I always got my segments with my son. Okay. So recently we had an accident in our house. We have 2 pit bulls, 2 dogs. We are pit bull parents, or puppy parents. And KJ assists us with taking care of the dogs. I completely can understand this man having to let the dogs out and not letting them do a number 1 and a number 2. And the dogs, you know, it might be cold, might be hot, they may be eager to come back in the house, but they go do their number 1 and then kind of, you know, run back in when they really gotta do a number 1 and 2. They just ain't out there long enough. So this man accidentally did not allow the dogs enough time to do their business, and they had an accident in the house. So the lesson I expressed to him is, hey, you know, when let the dogs out, make sure they out there a certain amount of time, they doing what they need to do, boom, boom, boom. And once they do that, your job is through. When the dogs poop outside, that's my job. I pick that up. Don't nobody volunteer to help me. But when they poop in the house, it happens to everybody. Because everybody's responsible for taking, you know, the dogs in and out. But I told him, like, hey, Big Handsome, it's your job first. That's a part of your rules, your routine every day. So, now that they done shit in this house, you getting to learn firsthand how you clean up somebody else's shit. Literally. Hopefully in this lesson, you learn to give the dogs their time so that you ain't got to pick up no shit. Because there's some shit gonna have to be picked up one way or another. When it's outside, it ain't your problem. When it's inside, it's everybody's problem, but yours first. So we haven't had any accidents moving forward. That day has been my job, just picking up all the shit. We letting them stay out there a little too long now. But it's, hey, you didn't do nothing wrong, but here's some critiquing on doing something right. Because who clearly want to clean up somebody else's shit when it can be prevented? You feel me? Biggest thing is it's preventative.
Like I tell my kids, and I'm glad you said that too, because like it kind of go back to like what I've been trying to, like, me and my wife we've been trying to like tell our kids is that pretty much like if you don't do the dishes at night, what you end up doing is, especially on the weekend or if y'all on break from the holidays, y'all want to be. My one daughter, she'll always want eggs and it's like eggs or something. My other daughter, the twin daughter, the other twin daughter, she can't eat eggs. But the one twin, she always wants eggs and sausage. So I always try to tell them, it's important for you to do the dishes at nighttime and also make sure that they're clean. I say, because for one, unless you're going to actually eat off of this plate yourself while it looks like this, I don't think that you would want us to eat off of it as well. But then for two, if you don't do the dishes at nighttime, you also mess up breakfast. If you all want breakfast cooked in the morning, who gonna want to cook breakfast first thing in the morning with like no clean dishes, nothing like that? I ain't gonna want to. I'm gonna tell you to do the fucking dishes. Go ahead and do them. It's about them understand, like, I'm trying to like instill in them to understand, like, when you all get to a certain age, you all about to go get a job. And whatever, whether it's cashier, fry station, waiter, whatever the case might be, understand that your role is very important for what you're doing. Because if you fuck up your role, then you fuck up the next process, the process after that. And then everything is in chaos. And then it falls back on you. A level of responsibility and accountability. So, no, like, I fuck with that. And then as well, like, I like the fact that you also said that, like, it's like a couple's, like, it's like the couple's exercise. Because for the most part, like, most households, you know, everybody going their different ways to make their money. And like talking about, you know, how can we get it together? When you talking about how you can get it together, that's a bit different.
Yeah, man. That's getting it together is a beautiful thing if it works. But it takes a lot of role play. It takes a lot of she's a leader, I'm a leader, but I'm in charge right now. When she gives us the best benefit to win, she's in charge. When it comes to me giving us the best benefit to win, I'm in charge. But the other person has learned to become complimentary, you know, or you match me, or you respectfully just get the fuck out my way. Well, the other person's way, you feel me? It's just one of those of we're not looking to be negative in any kind of way, shape, or form. What we're looking to do is to win collectively. We're a team. So I'm just in charge right now on this one. So we've learned to have to break through to each other to know that we're not here to hurt each other, that we do have each other's best interests. And a lot of times that only comes through test. It comes through the word of mouth. Of course, we'll say anything, a lie, let anybody tell it. But when circumstance comes into play and it's like, hey, can you assist me? Yeah, I got you on this one. Or no, I ain't got you on that one. But I've come in to be able to be, a pillar for you, be able to come and help you up and sustain some things. It has to be taken into accountability, like, okay, thank you, so much level of appreciation compared to gotcha bitch, and I'm helping you survive temporarily, you know what I'm saying? So we're still learning, man. I love that woman on what we are learning together and looking to do, and we've had to jump over some hurdles with each other just on some mental blocks and things that we weren't really, sure about with each other very early on. And just keeping in mind, I'm trying to express to someone a vision that I have and convince them like this is what the lifestyle is going to be and what we get to do and, how we get to give back, but then we get to be able to do X, Y, and Z, but just how it can be what it is now and what it's going to continue to grow into. It's a very difficult challenge to express to somebody that, what's in your head into the world, to convince them.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Permission to Speak Freely, broadcasting from Cleveland, Ohio, 216, home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Guardians. Go Tribe!
Can I ask you one more question? All right, so permission to speak freely. So the flip coin to that. So the flip side to that. When you all get to sit down and then you all look at what you all have done, what you all have made, what you all have accomplished.
Telemetry and launch condition. Affirmative. Missile and internal.
The question I guess I want to ask you is the process that you all are going through, the things that you all are dealing with, like you said. At the end of the day, when you all sit back, y'all sit back, y'all relax, you have your shot, you have your drinks. It's worth it, isn't it?
Fuck yeah. It is, bro, you gonna get me emotional now.
Permission to get emotional, my nigga. Permission, because no, because the reason why I'm doing this is because what I want your listeners to understand is that no matter if it's running a business together or just going y'all separate ways, to make money, that it's still like everything still matters. But even still, if you all are running a business together, how like you said, pretty much like is, since you want the vision, it's like, you, like you say, you passing out information, but then you get to sit back, you get to relax. How does that make you feel at the end of the day? How's it after year, bro? Like, I've never asked you this. Like, I ask myself, like, how do I feel after year? I'm like, sometimes it's the same. How do you feel when you look? Because I see that you elevate every single year.
That's a really good question, man. So first I'll say, on the emotional part, it is always worth it with my wife doing it. And it pays off, and it's still paying off, because we had to believe in each other and use each other in the best benefit for us and our family and what we believed in with the business. From her, getting on payroll, coming off payroll to help with tax purposes, for her to be able to grow her position and sharpen her skills and mix in all of her creativity with what she's coming from and what she does. Like almost any merch you see me wear on the show, or anything within decor in our home that you can see on social media, anything at our office spaces, at our rental properties, these are all of her designs. This is where she gets to be creative, and us together, we were able to create these other outlets for her to be able to say, hey, yeah, I went from, drawing and painting and canvassing in my room as an outlet to, hey, now I have I'm picking out colors of countertops and floors and paint colors for rental properties for someone else to have a sustainable living, but comfortable as well, stylish. Like, hey, like I would like to live in here. One of those type of things that is still getting to show who she is. And like, it's shit like that it blossoms more than like, hey, we punching the clock every day to pay bills. But with this, with our reality that we're building, what else are we? The elevation comes when we expand ourselves more than just what we've built to sustain. Okay, so I'm a huge person that believes that money fuels the future. People are trying things because people have astronomical amounts of money to put into research and development to make things happen. People are going to the bottom of the ocean. Billionaires and millionaires are going to the bottom of the ocean because they got enough money to pay some scientists to build a pop can that can go maybe a couple 100 feet underwater. But their finance put that research and development into play for exploration, for their excitement. You know what I'm saying? For their discovery, all kind of different things it can be. But money made that happen. Money makes going to space happen.
But also the belief that something great could come from what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you have to almost be delusional. You have to almost be in a place of, and it's another quote of mine, being confident and fuck you are your neighbors. You're going to have to get to know them very, very fucking well. You're going to have to get to know them very, very well. You're going to have to be very confident in yourself, of your moves and things that you want to make in your vision, that nobody can deter you from that path. And for those that do and they try to, your fuck you game has to be so strong. Okay? Backed by a spell of belief. All right, so I say this too. It makes me emotional as well. Like I put a spell of belief on my soul so strong that no mortal man can break it. You can't convince me to be something that I know that I'm not. You can't convince me to be something that I don't want to be. Something I don't want to do. I'm my own man. I'm sure of it. Like I'll hear you out, but I'm just as potent with my yes as I am with my no. Like, no, I'm okay. And I'll stand on it for my own reasons. So building myself up and learning myself wasn't a journey on my own. My wife was there. She got a chance to see what I am and what I wasn't, and how I have grown and developed myself. And I challenged myself. Okay, I will challenge myself. I am huge on self-discipline. I'm huge. Like I'm a very huge self-starter on my own. As I tell my son, I'm like, hey, I'm like, who wakes me up in the morning? He's like, God. I'm like, you're not wrong. Of course, yeah. I'm like, thank God, whatever went at work that day for that, for sure. I'm like, but after that, man, who wakes me up? He was like, nobody. I'm like, who wakes you up? He was like, you do. So it was just giving the steps of like, hey, man, my job is to get you up and make sure that you're getting up and you're getting things done. Because if I'm late, then you're late. Then this is late. Then that's late. And then you don't know, nobody has any breathing room. Yeah, everything gets completely out of whack. You trying to remember that procrastination quote of, man, you late one day, you're a week behind. Procrastinate one day, you're a week behind. So on and so forth. So learning to, and still learning to be able to challenge ourselves, to be able to make goals, to work to not be at odds with each other, and know like this is a joint venture. This is like what marriage is. This is what business is. Like there's no difference to me in my philosophy and theories of it. There is no difference in being married to my woman and being married to my business. I am dedicated to both of them every day, even though I may not respectfully give them my all. But I'm dedicated to it. I'm here. I'm defending it. I'm taking care of it. I'm making sure that I'm bringing in what's necessary to keep things operational. I need to grow with it. I'm in love with the motherfucker. I have to be very understanding. You know what I'm saying? But I got to be better to it. It got to be better than me. We haven't always been the best to each other. We didn't really recognize fully what each other was. I'm talking about not my wife, but my business. It's the same thing. But in the retrospect of it, my wife is the same way. We had to make sure and recognize that we both were something to each other. That like, hey, not only am I I'm not the only man attracted to her, as she's not the only woman attracted to me. That, hey, we have to keep our scope of like, hey, it's a difference between fun and funds. Somebody over here that you just having an experience with, and then somebody over here you're living an experience with. It's a really big difference there. Like when we in business, like we ain't playing, this ain't no game, motherfucker. This is serious. This shit's life or death, no matter what industry you in. So pardon that man who want his shit that ain't got time to play. In any realm, man, he on his shit, he ain't got time to play. So don't play no games with him. You feel me? Because then he gonna show you his options, and you'll get to see how regular you are.
But you know what? It's not even about that. For me, in my opinion, it ain't about the options. It's a simple fact of the fact that I've mentioned to you that I've told you that I kind of feel like entrepreneurs were like, I say demigods. Because, you know, in my experience and from like what you have to really, you really have to say, forget the, you know, all right, I may shed a few tears, but I'm not gonna act. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna think about it only because I got so much shit to lose. And at the same time, I've been spending so many years trying to get people to believe in me. And that's what's so powerful. And that's why I was asking you them questions, because like, you gotta understand, like, what you're doing right now, like, I don't, you know, not everybody is really like comfortable with the idea of business. But for you to actually go ahead and be able to have this vision of a world for yourself and for your family, for you to actually be able to do that and then be able to convince somebody else who might not have been there or might not have been thinking like that at that point in time, how you convinced them. And now they're following you. And now you're building a level of structure inside of your household with your children to the point where yeah, like the only thing that can really go wrong for real is just you, because I'm showing you that it's fucking different out here. Like I had that experience with my oldest daughter. She spent like a lot of time with me, like over the holidays and stuff. But like, you know, we was like I was able to show her like what I do in the basement. Like it ain't glamorous, it ain't glorious. Like my fucking camera stand don't hold no more because my epoxy fucked it up. So like it stays at a certain level, so you just see hands. Like, but I showed her like, you put your mind to something, and then you make that you think about the idea, and then you figure out the process to it, and then you make it your reality. We live in a reality already because we're born into just a world that's already structured and that's falling apart and that's fucked up already. But as entrepreneurs, what we're doing is we're like fucking, I can't remember what the character is in the Marvel comics, but I think it's is it Professor Xavier's son, or I don't know, probably one of the Fantastic Four kids. But anyway, he was so powerful even as a kid, a psychic, that he was able to make inside, like it's in the comic books, like in in his genes, he made a pocket universe for himself. So all we're doing right now as entrepreneurs, we're living in a reality that already exists, but we're building our own pocket universe right now. We're building a universe that even so long as we abide by the IRS and abide by them laws or shit like that, we're living in our own universe. It's like the certain shit that we used to deal with before. It's like, I don't even recognize that shit no more. It's to the point where it's like, yeah, I keep my old paychecks. Like, you know, I look at them shit sometimes. It just be like, goddamn.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. Well, I'll say this, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for level of acknowledging what it is that, you know, I'm doing and my wife is doing, and expose, given that it has to be people like you to tell people what we're doing. If I continue to say what we're doing is just like, phooey, whatever.
I came up with this just today. Let me just talk about it right now. Right now, you appreciate it. You appreciate it because I'm pulling it out of you. And truth be told, I'm pulling it out of you because I want to I want to fucking know
for sure,
as your student. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like as your student.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I say thank you for that, man. Thank you. It's gonna continuously always be a journey with her and how to build it. But being able to convince someone about the hopes and dreams and goals and the outcome of it is a difficult thing, man. Is convincing is almost like religion. It's almost like religion is convincing them that one day is gonna be this, that joy comes in the morning. And then when joy don't ever come, you like, it's really dark.
But you still gotta believe.
Still gotta believe. And belief is very, very powerful. So it's power in the tongue, it's power in belief. And if you actually work and push yourself to things that you believe and you work on it, you will make yourself contagious. You'll make yourself contagious to people who are on the same path as you. Or similar, who are looking for guidance, or looking for somebody who's willing to give it. As a person who chooses this platform, people, all the listeners, freedom speakers, I choose this platform to be able to give this information as a family man, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, in the most cool, smooth, raw, authentic way I possibly can. Of this ain't for the gram of, hey man, this is you can make it. All you got to do is do these 5 steps. And like, nah, the 5 steps are a factor into what you need to do, of course, but is a real life shit of being a business person, real life issues and headaches, real life triumphs, though, goals, getting to live out certain things because you, somewhere along the line, you sacrificed something. You gave up something to get something later. So you didn't lose anything. You didn't lose it all. So I get freedom speakers. This past Friday, December 29th, I had an issue with my payroll company. I had a boo-boo. So this is real life entrepreneurship right here for a second. So I'm laid up on my couch with my wife. We watching TV, just finished smashing. I'm hoping I get to smash something else. You know, we laid up. But I get a call from the payroll company. Mr. Johnson. Like, hello, manager speaking? Like, oh, hi, this is Alex. Just wanted to reach out to you and tell you that we were not able to process payroll for you. We've had some technical difficulties on our end. However, wanted to know is, do you have any other methods of payment to pay your staff while we work on this issue? Maybe, yeah, I think, yeah. Maybe Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, or even just writing checks. Like, we're so sorry, Mr. Johnson. We hope that this doesn't ruin anything between our business relationship. No, we straight. We good. So write checks. Get Cash App, PayPal, any other form of method, Zelle, just any other method. But thank you for understanding, Mr. Johnson. Thank you so much. All right, bye. I digress on my story there, on my interpretation. But we sent out a message to our team of like, hey, we've had some issues. We're getting them worked out. But please send us your preferred method of payment, either Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, paper check. You gonna let us keep the money, you know, that kind of shit, whatever. But people reached out to us on and so forth. But once we started sending money through PayPal and not PayPal, through Zelle and Cash App in large amounts, it stopped. It was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute there, fella. Simmer down. Let's simmer down. What you doing? So I had to send another message out there, everybody, like, oh, some of y'all got paid, some of y'all didn't. But the next morning, please come up to the office by 10:30 a.m. and get y'all check. So I had to make sure I was up there the next morning to write out everybody checks. And you can feel the pressure and see everybody's eyes looking like, oh, we finna ride on Mr. Ken. We about to J him real quick. He don't give us our money. But to get to see, you know, people, everyone was very understanding. But this was a real life entrepreneur issue of, hey, sorry that you didn't get the paycheck at the time that it was supposed to be direct deposited, but you did get paid the same day. Along with everybody got 8 hours of just holiday PTO, just like, hey, here you go, you can have it. And then everybody got like $100 holiday bonus.
So now, while you mentioned real quick how the staff might have felt, how did you feel in that very moment when you got that call?
I was very embarrassed, more so because it was me. Like, I knew better, not even to blame it on the payroll company. It was more of me. I had more of a cushion to get in and double and triple check like I do. Like, that's promoted for me to do within my own notes of, hey, don't wait to the last minute when you do have a couple days grace. So me kind of pushing it off to the bitter end and not checking my own corners is what allowed this to happen. I could have got ahead of it a day before. Checks could have been mailed or whatever the situation could have been. Or when I processed it, I could have got feedback a day or two ahead instead of a few hours, because I processed payroll a few hours before the deadline. I could have really used the grace period that was in there. So I felt embarrassed myself to sitting there, and I'm being transparent with everyone and explaining to them like, oh yeah, it happened to us too. They sitting there like, oh yeah, it's cool. But in the back of their mind too is, this check better not motherfucking bounce. I know that shit. Well, Mr. King got a fresh haircut. That's where our money went. Beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? But I've been on the other side of the table too, so I know, like, oh man, what the fuck? Oh, I'm about to take some shit. I gotta, my kids gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? So I felt embarrassed, but I also felt like, hey, we're exercising and showing how we still are adaptive as a company and being able to make do for everybody. And I post-dated the check. Well, not post-dated. I dated the check for a day before and not the day of. And I explained it to some people, and they was like, what? I'm like, if I wrote today's date on there and you cast the check, it wouldn't clear till tomorrow, which is Saturday. So I wrote it for Thursday. So when you put it in the check, the account today, it should clear today. You should get your money today. So that, oh, cool, thank you, Mr. Ken. And bro, I'm writing out checks, bro. I ain't know how to spell 1,000. Like, I haven't written down the word 1,000. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like, man, what the...
I had that put up on Google at one point in time too.
I asked Alexa real quick when I was in there. I'm like, but it was one of them like, man, that's just a certain penmanship I needed to, kind of get back and play. But, man, just my woes from sewer to entrepreneur, man. Just little small things that happen, just hiccups, but was able, this is still, like I said, come to the aid. Staff worked for the money. They got the money, was able to be paid. Was embarrassed that I wasn't, more on top of my shit like I should have been. Not shifting any blame on anybody or anything. It's clearly on me. Like I said, I had more grace in that place, in that time frame, to be able to submit in paperwork or numbers earlier, and then still had the grace to be able to see if there was any errors like I usually do. But man, I've been really excited with a lot of new things and moving, and I was pushing the envelope with Tom, and it was just one of them like, hey, I procrastinated and look what happened.
There you go. And you know what? And that's funny how you ended it off right there, because that's how we started the conversation pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like we started off like, how does procrastination hurt a entrepreneur, especially during the time of expansion and growth. And shit happens, and it is what it is. But this is an example of this is not. I'll pop out like this. This is an example of a person who is actually like not just trying to just like grind the metal in one direction, but he's actually trying to get multiple gears started for like a giant machine. So it's cool. Like, it's okay. It's okay to accept the fact that, things could have been slightly a bit more better as an entrepreneur, or just even as a regular person. It's okay to accept that amount of responsibility, because what you're working for, what you're trying to do, all you're being is just a maintenance man to your own machine. And that's really it.
I like that.
You're your own maintenance man to your own machine. That's why I said, and truth be told, like that's why I said before, I don't necessarily, like, there are instances where I do stress about my business, but for the most part, I know that shit is getting to the point where it's automated. I'm getting to the point where, like, now, if I actually had have accepted a certain level of responsibility years ago when I started my business, then who knows? I may have been at this point right now where I'm at, and some things are just a little bit more automated than other ones. Some money comes with a little less trouble and problems than other money. But for the most part, I've come to accept the fact that if I didn't buy that, if I didn't learn to try and spray jobs of my own, or if I didn't learn to do certain larger drywall jobs my own, or just even something as simple as just not procrastinating my schedule and putting off, I said that wrong, more so me not paying more attention with my schedule and getting kind of just comfortable a little bit. It's kind of helped me to be a lot more sharper with things, a little less reactive, and just I can listen now word for word and dissect it and figure it out. But I can also tell myself as well that, all right, look, like, if you want to play the 3 strikes with yourself, cool, that's fine. It's up to you. But I'm choosing not to, and I don't want to.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for it one way or another, man.
One way or the other. And the thing is that the longer that you're running your business, the more and more you become accountable for it, because the more and more you're gonna do. The more and more people are gonna want you to do certain stuff, or the more and more you're gonna want to grow as a business, add certain services to your business. It's all gonna require much more time and much more sacrifice. But at the end of the day, if you are a thorough maintenance man for yourself, if you take accountability for yourself, not just as a black man, but just as a business owner, just a regular, or just whoever, or just whatever. So long as you can take just a certain level of accountability and responsibility for what you have going on, and you know that you need to make it better to be able to make a better future, then you yourself can be your own demigod.
What is your view and experience with working and hiring family?
I'm for it. It just, in all honesty, it's just, I'm for it. Only because of the fact that, if they give you the time and they want, I'll be like this. If you actually truly want to have something out of life, and then you actually have an opportunity, whether it's like with a family member or with like a friend or whatever the case may be, I personally feel like you should give it a chance. Not everything is bad. Like not everything is taboo. Like, you shouldn't hire family. I think it's more so just a matter of being able to compartmentalize like where they're like their position as far as like where they're at in your regular life, but then also in business life. I use my brother often for marketing. I use him often for marketing. I ask him for his advice and everything else. He got his own thing going on. Sometimes he can get to me right away. Sometimes he can't. Am I gonna sit here and be the, sensitive person? Oh, hey, little man. Hey, little bro. Like, you're not gonna answer my call? Like, what's going on? No, he got his own shit going on. It's cool. I understand it. But so long as he knows that, understand, I'm trying to build with you. I want you to be a part of what's going on, and we're moving in that direction. It's okay. Me, my cousin, I hired my cousin to work with me. Like, we worked together like pretty strong for like a strong year just painting. Like, I showed him that, even though I got the ADD going on and whatnot, and no, like, my business didn't really start off the greatest. I'm trying to, I want to show you, like, it's possible that even for you having your own painting business, and when I'm writing him his checks, or when I, whatever case might be, like, I'm not paying you by your name, I'm paying you by your business name. So it's like everybody can fit in. You just, in my opinion, you have to just be able to. You have to be able to figure that out as well, while still trying to inspire them to still believe in you. Because it's oftentimes I told my little brother, like, you like I talk to you like you my big brother sometimes, you know what I'm saying? We'll sit down and do the same thing that me and you doing. And, we smoking and everything else. And he just like, look, you need to make your videos, this transition to be faster. Like, so I'm listening to him, and I'm grateful for that. Because it's like, even though he, how can I put it? Even though he may not be, I guess, as intertwined with what I'm doing, with what I have going on, as much as I would really want him to be, but that's the selfish part of me. I'm grateful for the fact that I can still incorporate him somehow, some way in my business. And even so, at the same time, still hear from him that I've inspired him, and that he looks to me. Automatic booking and everything. I was like, I'm looking at you too. Like, it's all intertwinable. So even if your family members aren't working directly under you, and you can inspire them to continue on their own personal entrepreneur journey, and y'all still still, like, I was sitting over at his house one day, and we was waiting for this one DJ to premiere like his song, like he premiere like all these like new songs by artists and stuff. I was sitting over there with him, like, all right, is it coming up? It's coming up. Oh no, they got, like, you know, so I'm over there, like, I'm hyped for him because I'm like, he made the video, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm about to be a part of this. Like, I want to be in the video. Like, I want to roll a clip. But like, it's the support. He rode with me to DC. We drove like 3 hours just smoking, we was blown out of our mind, and then installed this portrait in the house, and just, it was the greatest, because like, not only it's like, all right, like, it was like a, you know, family vacation, but it was like I got a chance to be able to spend like quality time with my brother, but also business time with them, because he got a chance to see my vision and see what it is that I'm doing, and it's inspiring him. So no, I'm not against. I know I might have like fumbled like the intro like to your question, but like, only 'cause I wasn't expecting it. But like, I'm not against hiring and working with family. I think it's just more so just a matter of just like still getting them to understand and believe in you, so that even if their business isn't even something that, if their business is something that can be intertwined with yours, then bet, let's get this money. Let's get it somehow, because at the end of the day, it's 24 hours in a day. You work 8 hours, I work 8 hours. Sometimes I work a little bit less. Don't matter. But if I can still inspire you to show you that it's possible that if you utilize your 24 hours the best way that you can, by being your own maintenance man, you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Hey, you heard it here first, people. Marcellus Clay, a full surface painting company, giving you his living truth and information as an entrepreneur in 2024. Greatly appreciate you all listening and tuning in. Till next time, Freedom Speakers.
Peace out.
Keep me from all evil. Lord, would you keep me as I try